So it's a great honor to be here and all of you and seeing you first time coming here before 9:30, beating all the traffic, beating all the odds. So I'm really thankful for all of you to be here on time because we have a great lineup. Uh, but I think I will dwell more into why Encore. What does it mean for us and what was the need of us doing it? Look, for longest period of the time, even when I worked in US and I met Naveen first time, everyone was associating India with the land of Jugaad and the back office capital of the world. And we hated it. In fact, in my last job and my last work in the company that I worked for, Virgin Mobile, what I was trying to do is trying to offload some work from my sysadmin and data administrator and trying to move that to Hyderabad. And that question stuck to me. We are same people. Some of them were actually my classmates. And why the work that I don't want to do needs to be moved to Hyderabad so that we can do some other work. And that was really the thought that goes into our head. And me and Naveen, we sat one day and we said, look, there is no way we'll be starting anything over here. We are going back. And when we go back, we have to prove this narrative wrong. We have to build a product company that can compete with the outside world at the same level, with the same level of engineering, same level of product calibration, and really prove our worth, that we have the talent, we have the ability, and we can do everything. And that has been the fire that has driven us for many years. And within our second, third year, our competition was Google, Facebook, and it was an honor to basically compete with them in that market. And that is what drives us, to this day. And I think we are at a very interesting inflection point. Same kind of narrative, but I see it in a different format. Every company from Snapchat to Perplexity, when they talk about, they have maximum number of user base in India. And that's where your advantage of your population, 1.4 billion, and you start to question, are we going to be the consumer of the world or something else going to happen? Are we going to produce something and be part of that revolution? Because if we want to claim the spot of one of the largest economy and growing talent density higher than any place in the world, then we have to basically contribute at that level. And AI has given us another chance, another shot at that. And when we launched Glance AI, we figured out this is not the problem that we have to solve alone. We have to involve community in it, because if we have to win as a city, as a company, and as a nation, it's not going to happen by 15, 20, or 25 engineers. It is going to take community. It is going to take thriving infrastructure, culture, and whatever is needed to basically be at that level where we stop being a consumer, or along with being the consumer, we also become the producer of technology, that people can use our product and we can feel proud about it. So Encore is that call, and that is where the whole thing started. And then I started reaching out to a lot of colleagues, people that we look up to. They have done some amazing work, build companies, B2C. India has thriving B2C culture. Many companies that basically have the volume which are highest in the global. And more I spoke to them. I figured out the similar kind of problem that they are sitting with. All that was needed was just one push, one community who can come together and really inside this fire. And that's why here we are. So I talked about land of Jugaad, land of things, but let me also tell us some things that is very unique to us. We are one of the oldest civilization, and we have seen a lot of tough time in our life, colonial era and all that. But the result of that is we are very resilient people. Doesn't matter if we are 30, 40 years late, we are fast follower. We missed the initial industrialization, but it just took us 20, 30 years to basically come to a point where we were equal to what everyone else was doing. Same thing if you think about it. I remember my first job was telecom. Actually, first job was Tata Steel. We have the lowest production in the world. And in the industrialization era, when you're trying to rebuild anything, steel is the most important part. And we used to look companies in Netherlands and Japan to whatnot to basically figure out how to build steel. 20 years down the line, I met my previous boss, who still happened to be at Tata Steel. We were actually taking services, or basically rather guidance, from 4 companies across the globe, one in Hogovens in Netherlands, one in Japan. Today, Tata Steel owns all of them. So in 20 years, now Tata owns all those steel plants. We have some of the highest production in the world, So some of those things, this is the resilience. This is the fast follower. I'll give you another example. We completely missed the copper era. You remember the phone, where you dial and all those things. When the mobile came in, we just blew all the record. We are the highest penetrated country with some of the cheapest data plan on earth. That tells you that how fast we are, how quickly we can overcome to the problem. And that is what my belief is. So AI is a very big equalizer. But if we follow the same trend, I think it will be not matter of years, but it will be matter of few quarters, few months, where we can be at a point where along with the consumer, we become a producer as well. We also have to understand that 1.4 billion population throws some very different challenges as well. We are a highly divided country. When I say highly divided country in terms of infrastructure, in terms of capability, look at Bangalore. It's very hard to find any other city like Bangalore. AI can be equalizer. Because anything that is hard through human intervention and putting people at a place, you can actually use software and intelligence, and you can bring everything at par at a national level, whether it's healthcare, logistic, manufacturing, and whatnot. And you will hear some of the example with some of the speaker over here as well. It's a great opportunity. But we have to execute on it. We have to basically build on it. Otherwise, this is going to be another missed opportunity as well. So what are the gaps? Let's also be real as well. What are we good at and what are the gaps that we have to fulfill? Because this event is for having an honest and candid conversation. If we remain in denial, we don't acknowledge what needs to be done, then all of our time will be wasted over here. The idea of Encore is basically we come up with a call to action, some hard items, and we really go after that. So as I was telling you, we are a very good word adopter. If there is a good app out there, good technology out there, in no time people will be doing here. So that's a great ability that we have. But at the same point of time, we are still the adopter. So we need to change that narrative. How do we become producer? What will it take for us to actually do contribute? And we have done that, right? Look at open source contribution. How many of our engineers literally carried many of those stacks who were founded outside? What else is needed? We really have to go deep. We have to change the notion of our career. How do we build it? Today, we treat education as a means to a job. That era is over. Job you all will get. You are in Bangalore. But how do you go deep? How do you build expertise that is unmatched? Because AI needs that kind of rigor. It requires that level of depth if we want to basically convert ourselves to producer. At the same point of time, I know we have deliberately not converted into a VC and funding event, but I think once the depth comes in, the backing, capability, deep pocket are needed to basically so that we can fund those research. And I'm quite hopeful that many of us, the unicorn and sunicorn will come together and we'll figure out how do we work with colleges, how do we work with communities where we can actually back these research up. Because it's going to help us all. If we figure something out, if there is a new model, it's not going to be basically working for 1% and 2%. It's going to help us all. So that's the thing that we have to do that. We have already shown that what we can do, how we can reinvent the model and make it better than that already existed. E-commerce, you have seen that. All the innovation like COD and delivery in few minutes, quick commerce. I think I have never seen anything like that in any part of the world. Same thing even in fintech. UPI it has one of the most amazing fintech solution that I have seen over in the world. In US, you still struggle with credit card. When I go there, I have to carry wallet and I just, what is going on? It was supposed to be reversed. But so you have seen what this country has done when they put together, the talent and mind on the problem that were not solved before. So that's our DNA. We have a couple other interesting advantages. We are extremely scrappy. I'm pretty sure how many times, you don't get fund for anything, right? Everyone sitting over here, cost is always in our head. But that drives us to become insanely creative. How do we build our solutions? So I think that's one of the things. Do it faster and cheaper than anyone else. That's the mantra. And I think China has shown that how powerful that could be in any industry. We have talent. There is no denying that we produce army of engineers year after year. So we don't have to struggle. We don't have to basically worry about, if our education is right or do we have the right people. It's all here. Some of the best institutes, some of the best engineers, and they are getting graduate year after year. So that's one of the biggest advantage that we have. We are also a country which are highly neutral. We define the world which is called multipolar. We work with everyone. We are friends with everyone. So I think our markets are unlimited. If we are good at it, and we have learned that at InMobi and even Glance, if you are good at something, you can go any place, and you can sell it out there, which is a quite natural advantage that we have that many don't get in their way. So what could be the better place to start this revolution, Encore, other than Bangalore? Here we have the highest density of engineers, highest density of startup. It is actually, I would say, if I just look at the number of population, it's even greater than Silicon Valley. So this is where this event is starting, but this is not limited to one company, few hundred folks who are sitting over here, or one city. If we have to do justice to this revolution truly, we have to take it outside as well. We have also taken one such a step. Last month, we have also opened up a technology center in Lucknow. And our hope is that what are we going to do in Bangalore, we are also going to take to those cities as well. Some of the companies have already penetrated. They have already great thriving system in tier 2. But I'm hoping that many of you will think about it, and when times comes, you'll be ready and you'll take your expertise to those cities as well. Because if you want to solve the problem of 1.4 billion, it can't happen from one city. Everything will just collapse. So why now I have asked to all the community to basically come and help us do that? Because AI, at the one side, it is one of the biggest equalizer that we have, but at the same point of time, it is one of the biggest challenge that we are facing. It is going to rewrite all the rule as we know today, whether it's engineering, business, and whatnot. And how do we basically overcome it, and how do we use to our advantage will take more than one company, two company, three company, one city and all. And I think that's where this community build-up is become very important. All of you are handpicked, chosen to be part of it. All the leaders that we have known, we looked up to, are going to be speaking about their journey and how they think about AI revolution in India. A lot of InMobi engineers who are sitting here, you are among the 600, very few, and you have done few things right in your life to deserve the honor of sitting over here. And anyone who is coming from outside, we had hundreds of registration, and many members went through each and every profile. They literally spend hours that who needs to be part of this community, because a lot will depend on you. When we leave here tonight, what we do with this information and commitment is going to define what will happen afterward. Otherwise, we'll just come here, waste one day, go back. Literally nothing came out of it. What we learn on Glance AI is there are two things. You operate on 3 axes: accuracy, speed, and cost. Every model can do things here and there, but they operate in a different way. Sometimes accuracy is different, sometimes they cost you a lot, and sometimes they takes too much time. So when you operate on those 3 things, you have to not only work on software, you have to work on hardware, and you have to understand the interoperability of those components as well. That require deep research, that require depth, and that require the real know-how, how software and hardware come together and it works together. So what we have to do is basically we have to go back to basic. And I think we have some excellent session who are going to talk about how do you rethink engineering when you're trying to solve AI as a challenge and make it useful for yourself. But that leads to basically we have to, on these 3 axes, we have to build our indigenous capability. We have to figure out how to basically, what's our role into it, what is our foundation model, or if not our foundation model, what is our modification to it? How do we make it work? As I said, we are scrappy. We have limited resources. We have less fund than any other, some of the other rich nations. But at the same point of time, our accuracy and our output cannot be different. It needs to match. And we have at least 2 excellent examples that I'll tell you, or rather, the greatest example that I have seen. When everyone decided not to help us on our space exploration program, the ISRO spent years after years, and when they launched the Mangalyaan, the world was surprised. People joked about, I saw the cartoon that, the guy is knocking on the moon club with the buffalo. Have you seen that cartoon? But we did it. We did it in a budget that doesn't even help you open up a Subway sandwich shop. In 10 million, they actually send one of the most robust spacecraft to the moon. So you know how people have operated with us. And even same thing you will see, our defense that works on a very tight schedule, very low amount of money, and the amount of things that they have been able to do. And I'm seeing auto manufacturing, Mahindra, Tatas, they're just killing it. So I think we have to imitate that in our industry as well. We have to contribute. We have to bridge our talent. As I told you, I think we have to move beyond looking our career just hopping jobs or switching jobs versus to building careers, building depth. Because if you don't have depth, this is not going to happen. The shallow knowledge operates at certain level, and after that, it's terrible. It actually does more damage than benefit. We are also planning to have show and don't tell. Let's rethink demo. It's not to raise fund. It's not to basically, hey, I have a startup idea, I'm writing another RAG application, and let's raise some fund. No. If you have write a beautiful piece of code, if you feel proud of it, and you have done something amazing in one of these fields, let's arrange meetups. Let's arrange sessions where you come and you show us so that other can learn. So we have to rethink, how do we use our example, how we use our demo as well. Go deep, build real stuff, talk about it, show it, and let's make it happen. Just to pull it together, I don't want to take all of the time. We have great session. So what are some of the things that couple folks ask, what is the expectation? Why we are here, and what do we take out of it when we go home or meet later Encore? So as I said, this is not our one event. Encore is a umbrella that will continue to work through year after year. We will hold meetups under it. We are going to have conferences. We are going to have sessions like this, demo like that, and I need all of your support to basically be participate into it. As a user, as a producer, and if you have learned something you want to share, that's what we are envisioning this event. I think you all have been, if you are not on the Discord channel, please come over there. That's where all the conversation are going to happen. So I have written some very pointed call to action. So if you are an engineer, pick a large problem from your organization or something that you love. Go deep. If you get stuck, seek help on Discord. And if there are mentors, there are guides. If you look at that problem, that is something you like, please help them. For founders, think about it. What is your AI moat? Who can disrupt your business in next 1 or 2 years with 2 laptops and maybe thousands of GPU array in the backend? What is going to be your moat? And that's how drive your engineering. If you are a leader, spot a talent, spot a challenge, and sponsor it. Do whatever you can to take it to conclusion, to make something out of it. So with that, I think with this community, I seek all your help to go through the session, make this community live and thrive, and make India revolution happen in India. Let's build, let's innovate, let's produce, and not be consumer anymore. This is our time, and we will make it happen. Thank you so much.